Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
If you could earn a degree in procrastination or find that there's never enough hours in the day, then what could be better than learning how to control time from the Time Lord? From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Do you find there's never enough time in the day? Well, time management expert Les Watson promises to, as his book title suggests, get back an hour in every day, the A to Z of being more productive. And it's packed with practical advice that we can all put into action to make our working lives more manageable. Les is known as the Time Lord. So, first question from Heather Dawson, how did he acquire such a lofty title? Well, Les says, it's his own moniker. He was looking for just the right title for himself in business.
I was doing business cards, so anyone could be a manager or an owner or a director, and I was going to bed and I was about to put my head in the pillow and I looked up and said, God, it's got to be something to do with time, Lord. Time Lord! And we laughed ourselves silly. It's like that was it. It went from there. Les Watson, the Time Lord.
Well, now, managing time, it should be so easy, shouldn't it? But why do we find it so hard to manage time?
Because it's on us all the time. We cannot escape it, and it's a control issue because a lot of us feel out of control with our time. And if we're out of control, you feel the pressure, things don't get done. So it's really to do with your own ability to control time.
So what are some of the typical time wasters in a business person's day, do you think?
Well, let's go to the basic one, and that's email. So a lot of us have a real challenge with email, and it annoys us, it takes over our day. Email in and of itself could be the number one, and then there are others like meetings or distractions, even down to what are those little pings you get on your phone and the computer, they go, hello, you've got an email. Again, those are impinging on our day.
Yeah, so technology is really getting in the way.
Yeah, and technology is a great tool. There's nothing wrong with technology. However, it can be a big distraction because we've now got it on us all the time. The mobile phone's with us. It's like, oh, what about that? And what about that? And I could do that. And it just grabs us at any moment.
Very distracting, yeah. Well, now your book, Get Back an Hour in Every Day, takes us through the A to Z of time management with some perfectly pitched quotes along the way. I must say I really enjoy the quote element of your book as well.
Thank you.
So just to highlight some of them, Les, let's start with A. Action, altitude, attitude. How will these help us find more time in the day?
Simply from the standpoint of action, if you've got time, then do something with it. So take some action because a lot of us think about doing something, I don't have time for it, but if you just got into action, you'd find that you can get things done. The second one that you mentioned was altitude. Sometimes rather than in the quagmire of everything, come above it. Let's have a look at where you're going. What's the focus? What's the vision? So give it a big picture aspect to it. And the other one is attitude. So with attitude, what's your attitude as you roll out of bed of a morning? Is it, oh, here we go again? Or is it, nope, I've got this, let's go. So attitude plays a big part in you being able to handle the time in the day.
Okay, moving on to the B's, and you highlight there the importance of balance, including taking a break. So do we all need more balance in our lives?
All of us need more balance. A lot of us is taking our work home, that email on the phone, so we're taking it with us. And I will say to people, what about the delineation between home and work? So is there a delineation for you? Can you leave work at work? Can you leave the mobile phone, turn it off? Can you leave it aside? Can you just do life at home without having to do work at the same time or having to go back to it, have dinner and then go, I'll just do a couple more emails? It's like, no. Give yourself the opportunity to do 8 hours a day, 7.6, whatever that is for you, and then go home and have a break. A lot of people are heading towards this thing called how can you do a 5-day week in 4 days? And that's, again, getting it done, called let's get it done, and then we break, and you've got 3 days off rather than the normal 2.
Now, you learned all this quite quickly, Les, didn't you, when you started your own business and became preoccupied about where the next dollar comes from. So you do empathise with business people quite closely.
Big time, big time. And I got sucked into it where it was, for me, all consuming. It took over my life. And my wife will tell you the story that I didn't give her the attention. I was always focused on where's the next deal, where's the next appointment, where's the next person that I can interact with the possibility of gaining more business. And I needed to come away from that, actually stop it and take a real hard look at myself and my business practices to get that opportunity to go, no, it's not all about work.
Mazars is an international audit, tax and advisory firm committed to helping clients confidently build and grow their businesses. Experience a new perspective with Mazars. Visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.
Okay, now one of the C's is concentrate. And you mentioned the value of single task focus, as you call it. Is multitasking a time management sin?
Nowadays, yes. The more you can focus on the one task, the better it is. And studies have proven it, that multitasking, you get a lot of things done, but not to the level that you would like. So the opportunity now is to go, what is the one thing I need to do today? Or what's the one thing I need to do this hour? And get that done. So once you've done that, you go, okay, I've done that, move on.
I love the Peter Drucker quote you include in your book, Les, which says, efficiency is doing things right, effectiveness is doing the right things. And he does have a point, doesn't he, that there's no point being busy doing the wrong things.
No, you need to keep the main thing the main thing. And I talk about it from the standpoint of don't major in the minors. Let's come out of the paper clips. Yeah, but no, let's lift ourselves up and really start to look at what are the big picture things and look at that rather than just seeming to be busy.
And along the same lines, don't spend a dollar's worth of time on a 10-cent decision, from Peter Turler. So you have to be pragmatic in business life.
Yeah, my reference point of that is paper clips, and everyone's got them. And it's a matter of, are we focusing on these things over here or paper clips, or are we coming up into a planning perspective, looking at the big picture, and what's your time worth? Should you be playing in the paper clips? Are you the person that should be looking at where the next deal's coming and delegate those small things onto other people?
From the D's, you offer 4 D's to help us avoid being overwhelmed by task. Do it, dump it, delegate it, or diarise it.
And that came out of priority management. My training was way back in 1985 with one of the doyens of time management, David Allen, who wrote the other book on time management, not this one, but the other book on time management called Getting Things Done. And then from there, I also dabbled in priority management, and out of there was the 4 Ds. Do it, dump it, delegate, and decide when. And I look at that from an email perspective. As an email comes in, you need to be the leader. Do it under 2 minutes. Delegate it. It's spam, so dump it. Or if you're not going to do it now, can you decide on when you're going to do it, put it into a diary system, and then follow up on that when it pops up? So you can do that with email, and you can do it again with paper. A piece of paper comes, you open the envelope, and there's the piece of paper. Do it, dump it, delegate, decide when, as opposed to, I'll get to that later. And you end up with these piles of paper, and you go, how did I end up here? It's a leadership issue. So it's the individual saying to themselves, if I'm going to lead this company, and if I'm going to lead this desk, if I'm going to lead these emails, what do I need to do now out of the 4 Ds with this item?
Okay, and then the other big D is distractions. How many distractions can we have in a day? There's
way too many. And the thing with distractions is how can you eliminate them? How can you minimize them? And I've already talked about one, and that is the notifications on your phone and on your computer. So I was working with an executive recently, and the ping went off on the phone, and then the ping went off on the computer. I said, what's that? Oh, an email came in. I said, the first thing I want you to do is take it off both of them. Take it off your computer, take it off your phone, dial that right back, don't even have a visual pop up, and you choose when you see your emails. And you can put in your email signature, I only check my emails 3, 4, 5 times a day. If it's more urgent than that, please give me a call or walk around and see me. And it's really interesting because people go, oh yeah, we've kind of lost that art, haven't we? So it's a matter of, if it's urgent, give them a call. Otherwise, be in control of your email rather than your email being in control of you.
That was the Time Lord, Les Watson, author of Get Back an Hour in Every Day. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.